Only a couple of months ago, Cyrus and I took a very scientific trip to a hill station near us. It's called Mahabaleshwar, and that was done just to prove a point to Cyrus on how light on the pocket the Tiago NRG iCNG can really be with its iCNG technology. And of course, with all the saved money, he spent it all on eating strawberries. But a lot of you watched that video and had a lot of questions. You wrote into us, so here we are today to answer them.
And we have crowdsourced the questions from you, so thanks a lot for writing in your questions about CNG. We're going to get you all the answers. The car is already here, the Tiago NRG iCNG. I'm here. We just have to wait for young Mr. Karan Singh to arrive on the set. Thank you very much. So, let's get started with the first question. Now, young Mr. Karan Singh, since I'm senior here, at least by age, you will give me the honor to start off.
You have the honor to start.
Now, before you put your hard-earned money onto CNG technology, please understand what it really is, and that's going to be the topic for the day.
CNG is a compressed natural gas, CNG,
Obviously.
and what it is obviously a compressed natural gas. It's basically a natural gas that's been compressed to a high pressure for use in our vehicles. But what you need to know, and what you also need to know, is that it's a clean, burning and efficient alternative to petrol and diesel fuels.
CNG, being compressed natural gas, being a gas, is going to be compressed in cylinders, and cylinders have what?
Cylinders have a weird shape and regulators.
Cylinders have regulators. So now CNG gets delivered to the engine via a regulator, and of course from there on it's going to go through the fuel injectors, where the fuel injectors are going to further inject the gas into the combustion chamber, so that of course, boom, pow, explosion can happen and you get
power.
Energy, power. And of course the Tata Tiago NRG iCNG here comes factory fitted with all of this.
All the proofing, all the testing, all the regulators, all the cylinders already come factory fitted by a big OEM like Tata Motors, as right here on our studio floor. Now the first option you obviously have is petrol and diesel cars, and the problem with these is that prices are only getting higher and higher, and because these are a limited resource, they're not going to get any cheaper anytime soon.
You're running out of them.
Exactly.
And you kill the environment with them, and that's why the weather here today is so bad and I'm sweating so bad.
And then right after that you have the hybrids. Now these marry that expensive fossil fuel technology with e-motors and batteries. What that usually means is that they have more technology and more cost. And finally, you have electric vehicles. They might be the future, but today they are limited by their range and the infrastructure that we have.
To be honest, 60 to 80%, approximately 60 to 80% of the cost that you pay for an electric vehicle is actually just being paid towards the battery technology. And then EV vehicles, of course, lead to a lot of range anxiety. And so CNG in that case
is the G.
Is the real G.
And India has actually been a pioneer of CNG technology. Way back in 1998, when I was precisely 0 years of age, our capital, New Delhi, already had a deadline for all public transport to be CNG by the year 2001. And today, companies like Tata Motors have CNG ready everyday vehicles.
Thank you, young Mr. Karan Singh.
Okay, so the next question asked by our viewers is actually a good one. Can CNG act as a range extender?
Yes, of course it can act as a range extender, and I'll tell you how. In the Tata Tiago NRG iCNG, boy, what a long name, if you were to go out on a journey using its petrol tank and the CNG tank, then you're really going to go long distance to the tune of 1,000 kilometers. And that makes it one of the most highest range cars of the country, the Tata Tiago NRG iCNG. But then, yes, CNG as an energy format is a much more energy dense format. So if you had two tanks of CNG and petrol equal in volume, the CNG being more energy dense is actually going to get you further than petrol. But to really extend the range, combining the two, it works.
So how much money can they save by using CNG?
Okay, to answer this question, we're going to have to get in the car and do the math, and once the math is done, we're going to come right back at
Now, that amount may seem a little bit small at first, but over a long period of time, you will actually end up saving quite a lot of money.
Yeah, and it starts from day one.
Good question actually. Now CNG as a technology, some of us associated it with taxis and public transport and buses and all of that, which is why we may feel that it's not premium, but as a technology, it has come a long way since we first saw it.
Yes, of course. And when you ask the question whether you can have a premium car while having CNG in it, the answer is yes, because that's got to do with the creature comforts and the features that you get in the car. And those are no different than what you will get in
Exactly
any
the
other
same.
car. For example, the Tiago NRG iCNG here will get a push button start, and you can in fact start in CNG mode, and then you will have seamless transition between CNG mode and petrol mode.
You have 8 speakers, fully digital dash.
All of that does make it premium. So the question stands answered. CNG cars, yes, can be premium. Oh yes, you can take CNG cars off-road. This one in particular is uniquely positioned to do just that with its increased ground clearance and the body cladding. In fact, Cyrus and I did that only last month. Well, to come to this thought of whether it can explode or if it's flammable, but then the fact remains that CNG is less flammable, and it composes mainly of methane, and methane has a higher ignition point.
CNG is also lighter than air. Imagine that, lighter than air.
Yep.
And that means that it dissipates in the event of a leak, and the iCNG technology actually has a fail-safe built in, so as soon as it detects a leak, the supply is stopped.
So a little bit of sparking happening here and there, and petrol actually is more unsafe than CNG technology.
And what that means is that if you are looking for a frugal, clean, efficient technology to buy in your car today, CNG is the way to go. Where do we go?
There where the Tata Tiago NRG iCNG takes us.
Let's go.